Hey YouTube, this video is going to be an overview of the Retro Gamer magazine. This specifically will be issue 104, celebrating the 40th anniversary of Pong. What I kind of like about this magazine as a whole is that it has people who have experienced or have had some experience in the gaming industry, or people who have kind of been around since the start in the UK kind of gaming world. Just some of the things that it features, it talks about a guy and his experience talking to a guy about the Sega Dreamcast. See right there. The next one, some retro gaming kind of things, and it talks about, Sega Rally, Sonic Racing, great games, and overall just talks about people's experience and nostalgia from games back in the day. It also looks back at, certain months. For example, this issue was the 22nd of June to the 19th of July, where it was published. So it talks about those periods of time in year back. For example, Quake came out. In 1996. Also talks about, Death Bank, the Xbox Live Arcade game. Talks about Donkey Kong, Sonic Adventure, all sorts of stuff. It basically tells you what happened, so many years back on that specific time. It also gives you an interview with many people. This is an interview by a chap named Rod Lawton. Talks about some of his most influential games, his experience in the industry, what his favourite video games are, why he likes them, whatever. This is where it tells you to subscribe. So if you're interested in ordering a subscription, you can pause at that number. Overall, I think it's a really good magazine, because even if you played a lot of retro games back in the day, or you're going back to retro games, it gives people's opinions who were at the kind of front line of it, and who know a lot about games, whether they made it or whether they're playing back in the day. People who are passionate about video games, people who love video games. I mean, just this section, it gives you kind of the news that was happening back in the 80s. It's got, all the news that was happening then, what games are coming out, what was the kind of main game of news. And here we've got one in the 90s. So the last kind of 2 and 3 decades, we've got lots of information about it. It just kind of puts you back in time. Like, it's a really interesting kind of way to do it. You're kind of shoved back in those eras. The power of history of video games, and it's got, the main feature of this magazine is Pong. So you've got, a whole dedication to Pong, about its history, its influence in the UK, how many people knew about it. Even people who have no interest in video games now still know or have an idea what Pong is. It's amazing. And then, it's got, some other stuff, advertisements, and it's talking about the legendary Sony Tekken series. Debuted in PlayStation 1, I believe in 96 or 95, because I remember, the first one had a long box PlayStation 1 case. Talk about these characters, the guys who developed it. Very fun fighting series. I've played a few of them. Again, it's showing, what multiple devices you can view this article or magazine on. And it's talking about some football games. Football games starting off as early as Amiga in 1989. Great games. Then the NES, so the Master System, SNES, Mega Drive, Game Boy, just kind of great football games has been over the years. Again, Mega Drive, SNES, Mega Drive, great console, SNES is good as well. And it's talking about Pitfall, the legendary game. Overall, this magazine's great. It shows you about people who are really passionate about games, like I've said again. It gives you a lot of history about games back in certain years, and overall it gives you a good insight on what it was like during that time period. I highly recommend this magazine. Like I said, you can look online if you want to order it or subscribe to it. I highly recommend you do it, as it's a fun read. This is my first issue I got bought for me recently, and I'll definitely go back and buy some more. As someone who's interested in games of all generations, this is the best. A lot of information, really fun to read.